Okay guys, so we're gonna run through how to set up your calories and macros and how to navigate the Myfitnesspal app. First off, when you open up the app, you're gonna have your dashboard. I honestly never really use this screen. It will have your remaining calories for the day depending on how you set it up. Down the bottom, you're gonna have your diary. This is where you're gonna log all of your foods. This is the one I will use the most. And then up the top of this one, you'll see that we have your basically like calories remaining, or it'll have like an equation. Depending on how you set it, some people like to see the calories remaining. Some people like to see like their macros displayed up there. It depends on how you set it up. But for me, have my remaining calories worked out basically from the goal, what I've eaten so far, and then the remaining. Now, if you actually click that one, that is then going to give you another screen. It's basically like a little bit more in depth with your calories, your macros, and even some of your micronutrients as well. Up the top left, we will basically have your calories. This is basically just like splitting up the percentage that you've had for every single meal throughout the day. Across, we will have nutrients. This is basically just breaking down your macronutrients, so like proteins, carbs, fats, a few other ones, and then some micronutrients as well. And you can see exactly what the goal is for each of them, how much you've had, how much maybe you've got to go, or even how much you've gone over as well. So it's a good way to kind of see exactly what you're eating in detail. And then on the right-hand side of that, we have your macros. So very, very similar to the first screen. This is basically just the percentage of macros that you've had throughout the day, the goal, but also what you've currently eaten, and then maybe how much you've got to go as well. So it's basically just like the first one, but just breaking those macros up into the percentage split that you are currently on. So now if we return to the home screen where the diary was, down the bottom right, there'll be one that says like plan, there'll be a plus. You don't really need either of those in my opinion. What we want to look at now though is basically go into the three dots that says more. So this screen here is what you're going to basically adjust all your settings, set your calories and macros, and create recipes, which I'll go into in another video in the future, because that is a very useful tool to use. So when choosing your calories and your macro split, when you first sign into Myfitnesspal, or if you go into the settings here and you answer a couple questions, it's basically going to give you a number that you can go off with your calories, but also your macros, depending on your goals, your gender, your weight, your activity level, and a bunch of other questions that it's going to ask you as well. So if you've got a coach that you're working with, or I've sent you here because you're working with me, I will basically be giving you calories and macros based off what I think is best for you and your goals at the moment. Or I'll be sending you here just to basically track food for 1 or 2 weeks, just so we can establish a sort of baseline for you. And then from there, we'll make any adjustments. So basically, I'll show you exactly how you can customize your calories and macros based off my recommendations or your own recommendations if you're coaching yourself, or if you just wanted to adjust the ones that Myfitnesspal has basically given you. So what we want to do, like I said, we're going down into the bottom right where it says more. We've got a bunch of places that we can go from here. So what we want to do is basically go into the goals section. You're going to click on goals down the bottom, or like in the middle really. It's basically going to say nutrition goals, and you'll see calorie, carbs, protein, and fat goals. So you're going to click onto that one, and then you're going to adjust your calories based off the recommendations from me, your coach, or yourself. And then you can choose your macro split, so your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fats. You can do this through percentage, I believe, depending on the version of the app that you are on. If you want to do that per gram and get very specific with it, that will be where then you actually need to get the paid version. But I find just going off the percentage is fine, and then you can just work with it like that. So that's how you want to be setting up your calories and macros, and just like the basic sort of navigation of Myfitnesspal. If you have questions, send me a message or comment them below, and I'm more than happy to dive into those for you and give you a bit of insights and help where I can.